for other teams to start visiting us one by one. I do not wish to say more than this because this is really David's moment. I just want David to know that the people of Pakistan are delirious with happiness. When we were walking to this room downstairs, we passed a contingent of them in the stalls, and there was cheers for ICC Zindabad. And so therefore your fame and your support precedes you. And the people of this country look to you to help the endeavors of their representatives in the PCB to take this initiative forward and finally to bring international cricket back to Pakistan. It's no small achievement that at least 6 people, or 5, are from South Africa. And I hear murmurings from my media sources that there is interest in certain quarters for a one-off test. Where the test will be played, whether in Pakistan or in South Africa, I don't know. We have not yet got to the nitty-gritty of it. I hear rumors. So there's no truth in them. But if there were to be truth in them, then that would certainly be another milestone. We are keen to bring international cricket back to Pakistan. We are keen to demonstrate our seriousness of purpose. We are keen to show that we are a peace. The world should wake up to what Pakistan is all about. The world knows that Pakistan has a tremendously talented team. It's had its ups and downs. But my sense is we are now going to go up and up. And therefore those who do not wish to play us for one reason or another, that has more to do with politics than with cricket, it will be entirely their loss and the loss of their cricket watchers and their people. I don't wish to say more. I'd like to hand over now to David Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Sethi. Good evening, everybody. Very happy to be back once again in Pakistan. Let me start by saying actually a big thank you to the people of Pakistan for their continued support of cricket over the last few years in what must have been a difficult time where you didn't have international cricket in your country. But the fact that I think that the people have stayed loyal to cricket and have supported their team has been one of the factors in leading to the Pakistan's team's success. First of all, in reaching #1 ranking as test team, champion test team, and then more recently the Champions Trophy. I must say, a previous CEO of the ICC once said to me, you cannot call yourself the CEO of ICC until you have at some stage been burnt in effigy in some part of the world. And so it's quite a nice change to at least get a welcome from the crowd as we walked across the ground this evening. Well done to the PCB for its initiative in pressing ahead in arranging the tour. And of course the efforts made together with all the security agencies for ensuring that the tour can proceed in a safe environment. Security is unfortunately an issue across the world and an issue for all sports. And ensuring that our members have the capability to safely stage matches is extremely important. And this is the main reason why the ICC created the Pakistan task team way back after the attack back in 2009, which under the leadership of Giles has put a lot of work in working towards the eventual return of international cricket to Pakistan. And more recently in the decision to invest in improving the security capabilities of not only the PCB but Pakistan security forces generally. I'd like to thank the media for its continued support, positive support and coverage of cricket in general, and of course in this tour in particular. We certainly believe that this will be an important stepping stone towards not only building the technical capability to handle security situations within the country, but also, probably more importantly, to build the confidence of the international sporting community that despite whatever threats may exist in Pakistan, that you have the capability of adequately mitigating them and dealing with them and managing them in a way that tours can proceed. Lastly, I'd like to express our appreciation to both teams, and in particular the World 11 team, and not only the players but Andy Flower's efforts in putting the team together on the PCB's behalf, and the match officials, in particular Richie Richardson, who's come across and agreed to participate in this series. And I genuinely believe that this is an example, a very good example of, and sometimes we refer to it too easily, that the cricket family, the world family, it's a good example of them sticking together and doing their best to help a particular member country. And as I say, I'm pretty confident that going forward, this will be an enormous help in persuading and convincing other countries that actually Pakistan is capable of staging events in its country in a very safe manner. So thanks again for your attendance today. Thanks for your support generally and of this tour in particular.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have got mics on either side. Please raise your hand, introduce yourself, but before we start taking questions, please put your phones on silent. There is lots of disturbance. Please put your phones on silence. Thank you. First question, Sanaullah.
I'm Sanaullah Khan from Dunya TV. Lahore is going to host 3 series, World 11, Sri Lanka and then West Indies. Can these 3 consecutive series increase chances of Pakistan to host any ICC event, whether it's under 19 or women cricket?
The ICC events in this cycle anyway till 2023 have already been decided and awarded. But this is I think Pakistan over the last 2 years in particular has made tremendous strides as far as improving their security situation, bringing the threat levels down, and then also improving their ability to deal with that threat. But it is a long process. This is one of the early stepping stones, a critical one, but a very important one. Let's get through this tour. Let's have, hopefully, other teams visiting Pakistan. And I'm sure in a couple of years' time we can start talking about hosting an ICC event, most definitely.
Usman Samiuddin.
Hi, David. Here. There's some talk that there might be a couple more tours by a World 11 side over the next 2 years, maybe. Is that something that the ICC would again kind of help facilitate with, as it has done this time, and maybe even provide the kind of financial assistance they did with the security agencies as they did this year?
Yes, yes. The ICC has already agreed to invest in security and developing and improving the security capabilities for a 3-year period. Whether years 2 and 3 include a World 11 tour, that's not decided, maybe not. Certainly I think, I understand the intention would be to bring more and more matches, the PSL matches, back to Pakistan, but also to bring member countries to tour Pakistan, not a World 11 tour. And that would be the ideal, to have international cricket return to Pakistan in normal circumstances.
Can I just elaborate a little bit on that? The idea of having a 3-year contract with a security company approved by the ICC and by the International Players Association is to ensure that either or the ICC or other foreign teams continue to come to Pakistan. This is an ice-breaking event. We hope that by this time next year there will be a full-fledged tour by at least one other member country, and in the absence of that we will go back to the ICC in order to push this process forward, and I have no doubt in my mind that we will expect full support from the ICC.
Gentleman in the front, right side.
Giles from Bold TV. 2 years ago when Zimbabwe toured Pakistan, ICC refused to send match officials, but now Richie Richardson is here because ICC sponsored World 11. And next month, Sri Lankan team coming to Pakistan, and in November, West Indies will play 3 matches in Pakistan. Can ICC send again the match officials for the bilateral series if Pakistan arrange?
that just shows that 2 years ago how things have improved since then. Yes, for every series, even whether it's happening in England, South Africa, Australia, we have a security consultant. When we send our match officials or our staff, such as Sammy, into a particular country, we always ask him to review the threat and make sure that the plans are adequate to deal with that threat. I'm confident that if, as on this occasion, we go through that process and it's safe for the match officials to come to Pakistan, that will happen, no doubt.
Gentleman at the back, left side.
तैमूर कबीर फार्म खबरें चैनल 5। मेरा पहला सवाल नजम सेठी साहब से है कि आपकी इस काविश को दुनिया भर में सराहा जा रहा है, क्या हम मुस्तकबिल करीब में कोई टेस्ट मैचेस पाकिस्तान में देख रहे हैं? और दूसरा सवाल मेरा डेविड से है कि आर यू हैप्पी विद द लव ऑफ पाकिस्तानीज एंड टेल दिस इंडिया डिड नॉट प्ले द सीरीज विद पाकिस्तान, द ICC is standing with the Pakistan Cricket Board. What is the policy of International Cricket Council on the India-Pakistan matter?
I think you should address the India-Pakistan question.
I'm not sure I've understood your question correctly, but I think what you are asking is what is ICC's policy on India-Pakistan matches? Well, as you know, when it comes to ICC events, there's no question if India are drawn to play against Pakistan, they will play. On the question of bilateral series between the countries, all bilateral series, whether they're between India or Pakistan, India and South Africa, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, they are agreed on a bilateral basis as well. I understand that at the moment, anyway, diplomatic relations between the two countries are not exactly as rosy as they could be. And for now, anyway, it seems that the BCCI, without the positive affirmation or approval from their government, don't believe that it's time for them to play against Pakistan. I also know that the PCB have been talking to the BCCI for a number of years now in trying to arrange tours between the two countries, whether in Pakistan or in neutral venues, etc. Those talks probably are ongoing. You will also have read in the media that the PCB have filed a complaint under the ICC's disputes resolution process, which is a mechanism that we have to deal with any disputes between member countries. That process is a work in progress. Mr. Sethi will probably be able to update you as to the detail of that. At the moment, ICC really, its role in this is just to facilitate the resolution of any dispute. We don't like our members fighting with each other, obviously, or being in dispute, but we have a process to deal with it, and we need to let the process take its course.
Again, I'd just like to add a few things. This process, which is under the aegis of the ICC, has now reached its final point. We've had our last meetings with the Indians, and the last meeting was under the chairmanship of the current ICC president, chairman Mr. Shashank Manohar. So that process is over now, and now the next stage will begin. We are in active consultation with our lawyers, and I and others are recording our statements with our lawyers. And within the month or within 2 months at most, the process, we will go back to the ICC, and we have in fact written a letter already asking for the nomination of the 3-member board that will look at all these issues, and we've nominated one member already. So this process is very active, and we intend to pursue it to its logical conclusion.
Dunya, left side.
Daniel, Cricket Info. Mr. Richardson, you've experienced cricketing isolation personally when in the 1980s teams weren't touring South Africa. Do you see yourself as being in a unique position to appreciate that isolation shouldn't last any longer than absolutely necessary?
Well, obviously in different circumstances, but yes, no doubt. I saw that feeling of warmth once South Africa was welcomed back into the international community. Is probably one of the highlights of my career. Fortunately, it came just in time before I got too old to play, and I had a few years to experience it. And it's only once we were back in international cricket that I realized what we had been missing. So yes, and that's one of the reasons why we have been doing what we can to make sure that, number one, assisting Pakistan in survive in these difficult times and keep their cricket strong in those periods, but to bring the international cricket back to Pakistan itself. Fortunately, in this case, of course, Pakistan is playing international cricket, albeit not at home. The other thing, though, I've said actually on a previous visit was, because you are placed in that situation of not having cricket at home, you are forced to take steps to make sure that your domestic cricket is very strong, and that you know, when the time comes, you are ready and competitive. As I said, in South Africa, it was complete isolation, so that was even more important than it is the case now. But hopefully, in this time where you haven't had cricket at home, international cricket that is, good strides have been made as far as domestic cricket is concerned. The PSL is a fantastic initiative, I think, for the PCB, and can only help to make sure that the interesting cricket survives, even though you're not seeing your team play at home on a regular basis.
I'd just like to add that, in fact, it is the strength of our domestic cricket that has enabled Pakistani players to participate in most major international T20 leagues, and also the fact that we have now been able to put together a strong PSL.
Lady in the first row, left side.
Hi, my question is, how do you recognize the importance of the fellow Asian countries, like Dutch playing nations like Sri Lanka, India and Bangladesh? How do you think how important they are in ensuring that regular cricket comes back to Pakistan?
Well, I think historically the Asian countries have always supported each other very well. The Asia Cup is in whatever format, whether it's been Test, ODIs or T20s, has always been an extremely competitive tournament, and one worthwhile keeping going in some form or for the other. I get a sense that the current circumstances between Pakistan and India are driven more by the current political environment, more so than relationships between the PCB and the PCCI. So I'm sure that if the four Asian countries, and now we've got Afghanistan as well, will work together in doing their bit to make sure that Pakistan can pull through this period.
Adris Malik.
Dave, as you said, there is a lot of positive development in terms of security and other things. Pakistan is now in a good position. What's your suggestion to all, especially in terms of Test cricket, to the all full members, that they will come to the play Test cricket in Pakistan?
Well, as I said, it's a long process. This is a stepping stone in the right direction. A Test series is, by its nature, much longer than a 3 T20s match where you can have. I think the next step is to grow the capability, improve the capability in areas or cities outside of Lahore itself, to build the confidence again in teams like Australia, England, all the other teams in fact, that it's safe to tour Pakistan on a more regular basis and for much lengthier periods of time. But as I say, this might take a little bit of time. This is a step in the right direction.
Tabish, left side.
I'm Aftab Ahmed Tabi. India always tries to isolate Pakistan in the world of cricket, especially on every platform. Even ex-chairman Shahryar Khan Saab and Najam Sethi Saab went India and they faced very scary and insulting situation. Pakistani public and media feels that ICC favors more India than Pakistan. Is it true or not?
I don't think it's true. The fact is that India is a very powerful cricketing country. It has an economy that, because of the Indian people's love for cricket, is very powerful. And by the nature of that, India has a very, very strong voice at the ICC. But the fact remains that now that we've got 12 full members, in fact, they remain one of 12 votes. And in theory, that shouldn't give them any more power than any of the other countries. And I certainly don't believe that anyone that I've been involved with at ICC anyway has favored India over anybody else on any particular issue.
Shahid Hashmi, right?
Shahid Hashmi from AFP. In that same India-Pakistan context, isn't it disappointing that India or BCCI didn't come forward and present one recently faded away cricketer for this World 11? When you speak of world cricket coming to help Pakistan in a noble cause, does that mean that world cricket means minus India for Pakistan?
Mr. Sethi might, the bottom line is that although ICC has facilitated Andy Flower's involvement in putting the team together, it is still a PCB World 11. But the fact is, I don't think you can ignore the situation that exists between India and Pakistan at the moment at a political level, and the difficulties that might exist. First of all, from a cricketing point of view, India is just about to play Australia. This tour was sandwiched in the middle of a very busy FTP. One of the reasons why there's so many South Africans in the team is not because South Africa is the best team in the world, as it might be, but it's because they haven't been playing. They've got this time that's available. In India's case, they don't have that time. They are generally a very busy country. From a political point of view, obviously, because of the relationships, any Indian player being part of the World 11 tour, you can imagine the focus that would have been on that particular player and the pressures that would have brought to the event from a security point of view. And I think we've taken, and Andy Flower probably has, and the PCB have taken a practical approach.
Gentleman next to Shahid Hashmi.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asif Ali from Khyber News. First of all, thank you to supporting cricket and welcome to Pakistan. Najam Sethi साहब से एक सवाल करूँगा. Sethi साहब, आपने तकरीबन 3 साल 4 साल से पहले कसम एक किस्म की आई हुई थी कि मैं इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट लाऊंगा पाकिस्तान. आप ले आए, आप कामयाब हुए. क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट बहाल हो गई पाकिस्तान में, लेकिन क्या नेशनल क्रिकेट खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में बहाल होगी और नेशनल जिस तरह के T20 होगा या पाकिस्तान का पूरा कायदे आज़म ट्रॉफी, इस तरह के इवेंट्स होंगे पेशावर में कभी के नहीं?
देखिए, ये जो सिलसिला है ना, ये स्टेप बाय स्टेप ही होगा. लाहौर पहले, फिर कराची, पहले लाहौर, फिर कराची, फिर तीसरी जगह और चौथी जगह. अब हमने फैसला किया है कि सबसे पहले कराची स्टेडियम को अपग्रेड किया जाए. सिर्फ छोटी मोटी अपग्रेडिंग जो है ना उसकी, ताकि वहाँ 20-30 हज़ार लोग आ सकें और वो सेफली मैच देख सकें, कोई 1.5 अरब रुपया लग रहा है उसमें. उसके बाद अब हमने केपी गवर्नमेंट के साथ एक MOU साइन करने जा रहे हैं, जिसके तहत एक नई एकेडमी वहाँ बना रहे हैं, जो कि केपी के गवर्नमेंट जो है उसकी फंडिंग करेगी और उसको चलाएगी PCB. इसी तरीके के साथ मिलिट्री अथॉरिटीज़ के साथ हम राब्ते में हैं कि फाटा के अंदर अब वहाँ एक स्टेडियम बन गया है. और अभी कल मेरी बात हो रही थी DG ISPR से, और उनकी ख्वाहिश थी कि हम फाटा के अंदर भी कुछ क्रिकेट एटलीस्ट हाई क्वालिटी डोमेस्टिक इफ़ नॉट इंटरनेशनल कुछ किया जाए. तो इसकी तरफ भी तवज्जो दी जाएगी अगर कि इसको रिवाइव किया जाए और एक्टिवेट किया जाए. तो ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता होगा सब कुछ. थोड़ा सब्र करें. PCB के बड़े प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, उसमें से एक फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम भी है. हम क्रिकेट सारी बाहर खेलते हैं, अपनी होम सीरीज़ भी दुबई में खेलते हैं, बहुत महंगा है. 4 पैसे जो बनने होते हैं वो सारे ही ख़त्म हो जाते हैं, वहाँ के कॉस्ट्स इतने हाई हैं. जिस दिन आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये क्रिकेट वापस पाकिस्तान ना लौट आई, लाहौर में हो, कराची में हो, फैसलाबाद में हो, पेशावर में हो, जहाँ भी हो, मुल्तान में हो, हमारे खर्चे आधे हो जाएंगे. तो फिर हमारे पास पैसे होंगे टू स्पेंड ऑन डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट इवन मोर देन व्हाट वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ. मुल्तान की एकेडमी इतने अरसे के बाद जाके बनी, अभी भी फुली एक्टिव नहीं है. कराची की एकेडमी कब से वो बिल्डिंग्स बनी हुई थी, अब जाके एक्टिवेट होने लगी, एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. तो 8 साल के ड्राउट के बाद एक पानी बारिश नहीं हुई, अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कतरा बारिश का आ रहा है. तो लेट्स वेट, इंशाल्लाह ये अच्छा फल निकलेगा और फिर अब देखिएगा कैसे इस मुल्क में क्रिकेट किस तेज़ी के साथ बढ़ती है.
We'll take last 2 questions. Gentlemen in the front and then Usman Samyuddin.
Yes, this is Ali Rabani from Capital TV. Question and just need comment from David Richardson that do you think this is just unjust and unverified that closing the doors of international cricket for the last 8 years, while now securities and everything, ICC and other security peoples have watched that these are just clear. So do you think this was unjustified and not fair with the people of Pakistan so much loving cricket? And next is from Najam Sethi Saab. You talk about the unity and all that in your previous answer. You said, so we need to information. Do you have invited all the nation people from all the 4 provinces and different cities, all that, so that these people also come in these matches and watch?
We can't invite everybody under the sun. सब कहेंगे जी air tickets भी दे और first class or 5-star hotel भी दे. We can't do that. We don't have that sort of money. And clearly I can tell you now that this tour is going to lose money. It's going to lose money because the security considerations have been enormous. Even as we speak, the Punjab government is